Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome again to Wednesday night. And as you can see on the bench, it's exactly where I left it last week. Yes, we're here. Yeah, because I've been. Yeah, well, never mind. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome Wednesday nights, Ted's night, and we're doing the Churchill tank still. Yes, hope you can see this all right. I'm trying to keep up with chat. I'm trying to get everything organised, like the real professional I am. Yes, yeah, everything should be up and running in a moment. And as I was waiting to come along, everything started flashing on my computer. So I hope that, unlike Chris, I don't fall out halfway through. But we'll go on and we'll do things tonight on the Churchill tank. Yes, welcome. I'll calm down a minute. It's been again like it was on E-Models Monday night, under the blooming rush to get in from doing things, and we're going away tomorrow as well. We're taking the Lem out for a trip, and of course I'm at work tomorrow, so I'm taking the Lem to work with Mrs. Ted, and she's going to spend the day looking around Bowness and Windermere, and then after that we'll go and have a night away in the Lem. So yeah, it's busy here. So good evening everybody. Anyway, welcome. Hope you can hear me. I've got this new Ted Thing mic cover on my microphone, so I hope it hasn't altered things anyway. And I've just cleaned my glasses and I could see a whole lot better today. Nearly knocked that over. Oh, I did just knock it over. I had a pot of water there that I was going to use for some weathering pencils. Going to do some weathering on the tank tonight, and I've just knocked the pot of water over. We're off to a good start, aren't we? And yes, prior to that, I was cleaning the brushes, which were in the pot of shame from last week, because I'd forgot to clean them as well. But never mind, that's me. Oh, there's water everywhere now. Good evening. I need a gin. I haven't got gin, I've just got water again, but never mind. I'll imagine. Right, hello. Right, let's see who's in. Let's say hello to people, and get things calmed down and relax. Where's my right? First of all, I did, when I set up everything tonight. Yeah, Wendy was the first in, so good evening and welcome, Wendy. You were the first in tonight. Wendy Hickson, you were the first in. Well, it says on my list you were the first in anyway. Followed swiftly by Michael Johnson. Welcome, Michael. Graham Robert. Yeah, I guess you were all over in Chris's channel. I wasn't even in the house then. But hope Chris recovers and gets things sorted out for the rest of his weeks. It's my turn on Sunday again. Yes, so yes, I will remember to come along this time. I promise. And we'll do some War Hamster. Ted does War Hamster this Sunday. Yeah, I think it's me anyway. But yeah, again, don't just shit. Ted's live. I am live, and don't forget, if you want to support me on Patreon, or use Super Chat, which is the $sign down underneath the chat, and hopefully I could buy more stuff to come along and show you how we can have a chat and build things on the telly. So Graham Robert, Wendy Hickson, Athol's in. Good evening, Athol. Welcome to you, Speed Q8. Yeah. Sarah Jane, good evening, Sarah. She says she's nice and early, so we don't have to rise or anything like that. Hope the Malibu's sorted. Hope the Malibu's poured. I think after this evening, I'm going to have a big gin. I'm going to finish packing the van after the show, and then go finish packing the lem, and then I could get a night in, bed early, and then up early in the morning, off to work, and relax after that. So I'm taking some big bottles of gin with me tomorrow, because that's what you do. Oh, that's all, Michael. Bobbins 9000, good evening to you. All bow down before the glory of the coming of the Ted. Yes, yeah, that's me. Where is it? Right, Wendy, Scale Modelling Chaos, good evening to you. Good evening. Mac says hi. Yeah, then we're down in the chat. But please do feel free to chat. Come and ask me about things, get things kicked off. What we're going to talk about tonight. I'm hopefully going to be around for about an hour tonight. I might knock it on the head a little bit earlier because I've stacks of things to do. Being at work and sort of dashing home and doing this. I had my tea, homemade pizza for my tea tonight. What did you have? What's on the belly? What's in the belly? And what's on the bench? And yeah, all the rest of it. And we'll talk about things. Sarah's having a wee Malibu or 3, but just get used to the taste. That's what it's all about. So yes, so what we're going to do? I forgot. I've totally forgot what I was going to do. Oh yes, this week on the Ted's. I was going to sound so professional. This week on Ted's not Challenger, is it? This week on Ted's Churchill tank, we're going to do some decals. Well, we might not get the decals on, but we can prepare for the decals. We're going to have a finish of these tracks. That's why I haven't got the tank all together. I've sort of taken it into bits so that I can prepare it, and then we can have a go at the tracks. We can just finish off the evening doing them, but I'm going to prepare this. Obviously it's a matte surface, so we don't want to put the decals straight onto that. I know some people say you can. I don't want to run the risk of them sort of peeling off and things like that, so I am going to give it a bit of a gloss coat to give them something to flatten down with. And I'm also going to, when I come to put them on, I'll be using Microsol Microset, so I'll be using that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to, I was thinking of spraying the whole model, but that means that I'll need to get the airbrush out. I'll spray it, then I'll forget to clean the airbrush until next week when I'll find the airbrush all gunged up, so that I'll have to clean it. So I'm just going to apply some Pledge. Yeah, look, the original bottle Pledge. It's lasted forever. Is there a date on it? Try to see the date. Never mind. 2004. Yeah, it's a little date up there. I think it says 2004. Yeah, the decals won't take long, says Bobbins. There's only about 7. Yeah, so all I'm going to do is just prepare the areas where they are. So we'll start at the turret. I'll try not to knock this over. And just paint it on. Yep, that's it. That's as easy as that. I'll need a bit of tissue because I've soaked the brush a little bit. So there we go. Yeah, there's not many decals for this. It's going to be in the insignia of this. It's going to be the 6th Guards Tank Brigade, 3rd Battalion Scots Guards. And I'm doing it that because I think it will go quite well with the Universal Carrier, which is also in the regiment colours of a Scots regiment. So yeah, I think they'll sort of fit together on, because as you know, hopefully we'll put them in a diorama. and we'll have them together. So that's that side. Is there one on that? No, there must be one on that side as well. We'll put one on this side. It won't harm. I think on this side there is some stowage, but we'll put it on anyway. There we go. We'll leave that. It's good. I'm trying to keep up with chat because my eyes are terrible today. I'll try and keep up with chat. Right, let's have a look. Scale Modern Chaos. I was almost late as I got into watching videos on weird, unexplained stuff. Yeah, it's a bit addictive that when you get onto, well, I don't know whether it was on YouTube or Netflix, wherever you're watching it, but it can get a bit addictive, can't it? You start, especially if you start surfing YouTube, and recently there's been some weird sort of suggestions on my YouTube, you might like this type thing. People falling off horses, for one thing. I don't know why that came up. Yeah, it was like the Queen's household cavalry falling off a horse in front of the Queen, that sort of thing. I don't know why that pops up. Maybe because I've been watching some military bands, so it might think I like that. So yeah, so there we go. Where else do we need it? I need it on the other side as well, I think, because the box art says so. And as you know, this pledge, if you're using pledge, it does settle down, flatten down, not quite nicely, lays down well. Yeah, Bobbin said there's only 7 decals. Fox is in. Good evening to you, Fox. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, because I'm often late for my own stream. It doesn't matter if other people are late now. Yeah, in future I won't be asking for letters of from your parents why you were late, or you have to stay behind after the show and rewind and watch the bits you miss, because if I'm late for my own show, anybody could be late. But if you're out there in Videoland, you come along and say hi. Let me know, because I can see that there's far more people watching the show, once again, as there always is, than there is actually chatting. So do come along and say hello to everybody in here. Mark, doing good. Back to hospital on Monday just to follow up stuff. Nothing serious. Good. That's good to hear, Mark. All hoping everything goes well. Custard. Athel's on about custard. I hate the stuff. It's horrible. School dinners, when you were forced to eat custard, that put me off custard for life. It was horrible, and especially school dinners that had it wasn't a skin, it was more of a crust on top of your custard. Put me off it for life. Did you say 60-yard battalion, Ted? Is that only as far as allowed to advance or retreat? Yes, it could be. Yeah, it's like the RAF regiment, isn't it? Yeah. You know when there's a NAFI near, when you see an RAF regiment vehicle, must be guarding the NAFI. So whatever I said, this is the 6th Guards Tank Brigade, 3rd Tank Battalion, Scots Guards. That's it. So yeah, and as you know, you can spray this pledge, but it's just as good to paint. Brush it on. What else? Daubed up because we put too much on. As long as it doesn't pool. We don't like pools on tanks. Pool tanks. Yeah. Never mind. The two should go. The two sound as though they go together. Tanks and pools. But there we go. That's that bit. Now what do we need? Yeah, because you look there, it shows that there's a decal on the right side of the tank, but the instructions only show you the left side of the tank. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So we want this one now. We've done that. So where's the squadron numbers go? All right, they go in here. Goes on so that there. I'm just doing things. So I'll be back to chat in a minute. See what people are saying in chat. There, and is there anything that goes on the back of it? Yes, there is. There's backs of the tank as well. There's always something on the back of a tank. And that one on there. And there, in there. Oh, there's a bit there as well. Nearly forgot that one. So what I'll do, I'll just let this pledge dry a bit. Then I'll give it another coat, just so I do know then that it's nice and smooth. And then once the decals are on, I'll actually get the airbrush out, and I'll do a coat of the whole vehicle, because we'll then be ready for weathering. Right, chat time. William Rayborn, I'm here. Hi Ted and everybody in Chatland. So hi William, welcome to you. Mark says belly, rosemary lamb. Is that the name, or is it? Yeah. Rosemary lamb chops with new potatoes, roast broccoli. Bench is being cleaned in anticipation of birthday surprises. Oh, a birthday in our midst. Happy birthday to you, for whatever it be, Mark. But yeah, lamb chops. I do like lamb chops. Oh, Michael Johnson, my 1/200 scale Titanic arrives tomorrow. Oh yes, I hope the postman's very strong and he's got a big van, because he'll need it. Yes, but yeah, you'll be waiting, and every time you hear a vehicle coming up the street, you'll be there at the window waiting to pounce. Yeah, it's a great feeling when a model arrives, especially that big. Oh, Spitz says school custard is great. You can specify how many lumps you want with your pudding. Yeah, it was just horrible. I just couldn't eat it. It was ugh. Yeah. I still, it almost makes my skin tingle thinking of school custard. Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm gonna have to change the subject. Can't talk anymore about school custard. Oh no, you just can't. Oh, sorry. Stop knocking the Scots Guards. I was almost one of them. Couldn't be a guardsman because he wears glasses. I think I've wavered that now. What about if you wear contacts? Could you join the Scots Guards and wear contacts? I don't know. Maybe you could. Today's modern army, they would accept anybody now. I don't know. Yeah, I think if I was to join the army now, or if I was to be a firearms officer, yeah, take my glasses off and I couldn't see anything. But shit. Well, Willie Rayburn, yeah. Athol then ended up in the RAF. I loved it. Cool. RAF is good. If you ever join up, that would be my choice. Right, yeah, okay. Question of the night. If you were to join one of the forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, which would you join? Why would you like to join it? I'd certainly join the Navy, see the world, unless you were in a submarine, or you wouldn't see anything. You just, yeah, I don't know how I could serve in a submarine. You'd leave port and just go to sea, and then 3 months later you'd return without ever surfacing. Nah, it's not for me. I'd want to join the Navy to see the world, and you don't see it beneath the waves. So yeah, I'd like to be on warships. That's for me. So what would anybody else like to be? Say your call-up papers came tomorrow for whatever reason, God forbid, but say your call-up papers did come and you had a choice of what you like to do, what would you do? And if you have been in the services, thank you for your service. And what did you do? And did you enjoy it? Did you have a choice? Did you get the choice? I almost joined the Navy. Went through all the interviews and everything, and was actually accepted. I even got as far as receiving a travel warrant to travel to HMS Raleigh. But I went in the shipyard instead as a tradesman. But it was really because I'd found out that the Navy were telling me a few porkies that I could join as one thing and then do that for a few weeks and then change and become something else. And they were going to teach me to drive and everything. Yeah. So, yeah, whatever. It's right. Let's have a chat. Ooh. Ted, RAF without a doubt. If you could pass the physical and that, I doubt very much. Cool. Scale modelling Chaos Royal Marines. I tried to join when I was 18 but got rejected on medical grounds. Pity about that. Yeah, Royal Marines. I was a Royal Marine cadet, as in the Sea Cadets when you get Sea Cadets, and you could also join the Royal Marines section of that. So it was like being in the Army Cadets whilst being part of the Sea Cadets. It was brilliant. You had the best of everything. I'll change my choice to Women's Royal Auxiliary Balloon Corps. Yeah, that's good. So we didn't use a lot of that, did we? So it goes back in the bottle and we can keep it for another 10 years. Pledge. Yeah, it's bid you will look great in a skirt and buttoned up blouse. Do they still have? Somebody in chat might be able to tell me. Do they still have the women Queen Alexander nursing section? I know that a lot of ladies, girls, joined that because it was a way of becoming a nurse and also having the army life and seeing the world. Oh, I used to be a tank driver. I wanted to be a tank driver, but I rather like the look of moving the enemy formations around. You see on the RAF plot board. Yeah, that must have been good fun. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, this is Ginger. Moving for climbing to Angels 1-5. Bandits at 6 o'clock. Bandits at your 6 o'clock. Yeah, push him around the bottom. Push him around the bottom. Cool. Oh, I was going to become a Navy SEAL, but rejected on account of not being a SEAL. Budum. Yep. I was going straight into the Navy as a hull artist, I feel like you, Ted. I was told some fibs. Eventually finished my shipwright apprenticeship and moved to Australia instead. Yeah. You probably got told the same fibs as me, Mac. And it seemed that at the time, it might still be the case now, that I would think that the word went out that to around all recruiting offices were short of radar operators. So everybody that went in to the recruiting office, unless they were super brainy and super posh and talked in very posh voices, would become a radar operator that week. The next week they might be short of torpedo men. So everybody that went in would become a torpedo man. So I think that's what happened. I was just being recruited as an able seaman. Yeah, it sounds rude. But yeah, I was just going to be an able seaman specialising in something. So yeah, I was never going to be an electrician that they promised me. Yeah, so that's a sort of... I don't know if you tell the same fibs. Yeah. Was in rickshaw, cabs and taxis better known than the Royal Corps of Transport. Loved it and drove Bedfords, Landys and anything with wheels. That must be pretty good. Yeah, moving stuff around. Yeah, becoming HGV driver and not having to do the grunt work really. You could just turn up with 20 tons of equipment on the back and say, hey up lads, here's your 20 tons of equipment, and then loads of infantrymen would come and unload your truck for you while you sat and had a brew. Yeah, that must be, yeah, I think that's the way to do it, isn't it? Yeah. And yeah, driving Land Rovers around at breakneck speed because somebody else is paying for the petrol, and if you break it they'll fix it. Brilliant. Oh, Lord Battle III, good evening. And Butcher That Model in. Good evening to you as well. Nice to see you both. Just going back down in chat. Pretty much the same story, says Matt. Yes, always. Yes. Anyway, let's get on with this. As you can see, I've got the gloss coat on, ready for the decals. Probably ended up doing the decals next week because yeah, it's going to be some weathering now on these. And as you remember, last week we looked at doing the rust on these. Let's see if I can get the brightness a little bit up for you. Just change it up a little bit. I'm not sure whether my screen's foggy, my glasses are foggy, or the camera's foggy. Hang on, let's give the... I would be surprised if the camera's actually foggy. Let's give the camera a little bit of foggy wipe. Excuse me a minute, close your eyes. That's a bit better, isn't it? You can see me now. Land Rover breakneck speed equals 50 miles an hour, maybe. Yes, downhill. Land Rover, 50 mile an hour downhill. I could never understand why some of those armoured Land Rovers, like the snatch vehicles, things like that, I don't know how they actually move, because they must weigh a ton. Well, more than a ton, but they must weigh absolute loads. Right, let's get some of this done. What we're going to do now, we're just going to work on some of these tracks. That's the wrong colour. No, it's not. It's aluminium. That'll do. That's where these weathering pencils come into their own. Because all we need to do now, rather than getting the dry brush out, we could just go across the tracks with these. Brilliant. You can see already. I think you can even see just in the video how good it is. Back to the chat. We should never stop. Could be bread or ammo boots. Could be bread or ammo, Land Rovers or officers' furniture. If there was moving, they needed us. As an officer, can't use a map without string and breadcrumbs. Like, ah, yes, yeah, Rupert's. Yeah, it's really, yeah, it's worth saying that the army couldn't move without all the logistics. So, yeah, all the guys at the front firing guns and things like that, they become the heroes, where really the real heroes are behind the scenes keeping things moving, so that them guys at the front could tell all the tales when they come home of how hard everything was. And yeah, the logistics behind the scenes guys make everything work. Fox says his landing took about half a mile to get to 50 miles an hour, and about the same to emergency stop. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, brakes non-existent. Yeah, that's why you had a passenger. He could get out and stop the car. And it was also, you also had those strange looks from other people in the petrol station when you got out, took the hose from the petrol pump and then put it inside your cab, because the petrol tank was underneath your seat. Oh. Yeah, no reclining seats in the Land Rover. Yeah, nothing posh like they've got nowadays. Totally utilitarian vehicles. Yeah, but you see them now. There's some quite nifty looking Land Rovers with like reclining seats and dark windows and metallic paint finishes, things like that. But the thing is, you still can't get comfortable in them. I still wouldn't like to drive 200 odd miles down the motorway in one. I'd like one. I'd like to have one in my stable as such, but I'd also have to have a car that, if I was going on a journey, I could take that instead of the Land Rover. Just drag the Landy out when I needed to go to work in the depth of winter with snow on the ground. Put some snow chains on 4-wheel drive. Brilliant. That's what I did in my job as well. I went. One of the first things they teach you to drive is a Land Rover in 4-wheel drive. You go on a 4-wheel drive training course. Great fun. About 3 days 4-wheel drive, up and down muddy hills. Brilliant. Ted, out of all the pencils, is there a best set or are they all the same? There are various sets. I've got the Dirt and Mark set and the chipping and aging set. Then I've got there is a set called the Rust set, which is basically what I've bought, but I bought them individually. Now then, this could work out a little bit more expensive to buy them in the little sets like this than it is to buy the complete set in a big box. So it's really a matter of deciding what you want to do. I did some weathering. I tried to weather a complete vehicle. In fact, I tried to weather this thing, even though it's small. I tried to weather it just by using weathering pencils, and I think I would much rather weather it with pigments and then do highlights or special spots or more detail using the pencils. Do it that way, because if you try to weather, I think if you do try to weather a vehicle like this with these pencils, it can be done, but it would just take forever, and you can get the same effects with the pencils. But I think that's what I'm doing with the Churchill. I'm using the traditional techniques for weathering. I forgot where I am. There we are. But yeah. Use the traditional techniques for weathering, and then just touch up highlights. Do your highlights and lowlights with the weathering pencils. Do it that way. And just because it says a particular colour on the pencil, like this one says dark aluminium, but these tracks obviously aren't aluminium, but the colour is right. So just use the colour as a guide. I've got another one as well. Yeah, I've got gunmetal, which is that one. Graphite gunmetal. It is quite a bit darker, so it doesn't work on there. So that's what we do. Oh, Sarah says she always wanted to be a tank driver. When I first drove one, I couldn't even shift the gear lever or press the pedals. Yeah, gotta have a go, Sarah. Junkworks spent too much time in the rear of FFR land. Is it FFR? Yep, that'll come to you in a minute. What's FFR? Right, Fox's Landy came with air conditioning. You open the flaps. If you got cold, you close the flaps. Yep. Any of the temperatures, you wear a big coat in winter and your shorts in summer. That's how you control the temperature in a Land Rover. And your windscreen wipers was that little motor oval shaped motor, silver motor on the bottom of your windscreen. You turn the dial and it went zik, zik, zik. It never went any faster. Even when it was throwing it down, it just never went any faster. In fact, if it went at all. Yeah, been in many Land Rovers, chucking it down, and the windscreen wipers didn't work because the rain got to them and stopped them working. But they're still as popular as ever. People will buy and renovate them, Land Rovers. I really like, if I had a Land Rover, I think it would have to be a ragtop. Series 1 ragtop. Yep, because nostalgia. So can we see now? Can we see the difference in this? How one side is different to the other. Well, I don't mean in the way of rusting. That does look quite different, but it's not. But you can rub these across. And what I'm doing with it here is actually, I've just got a touch of water, rather grubby water, but I've just got a touch of water and it just softens the pencil and allows you to rub it across and streak it. Fitted for FFR, fitted for radio. I got that now. Oh, but Dave's got an image now of Fox opening the flaps. Yeah, behave yourself. Oh. Try being in the back of a Signals Land Rover with no windows and a tiny seat and full of hot equipment or buzzing. Yeah, but everything, people have designed things for Land Rovers, haven't they? Like tents and I think I know the military have got tents that attach to the back of Land Rovers, especially Signals Land Rovers, and get anything. I always found myself actually a bit tall to drive Land Rover, or maybe that's just a seating position, because you had to sit more or less upright, and because you were sat upright, you couldn't get a decent view through the windscreen. You had to look down under it. Land Rover owners develop a love of army surplus. Yeah, especially the grey coats. Yes, they do. Yeah, keep warm in the winter. Yeah, you could probably tell when a Land Rover, yeah, any shop surplus owner would be able to tell when a Land Rover pulled up outside his shop. If it was winter, he was probably going to come in and buy a grey coat. Great coat, not grey coat. I always fancied an X-Series lightweight. Yeah, that was. But they were the ones that weren't they? They were quite popular around the 70s and 80s. Weren't they called the air portable ones? They were the ones that were cut away. They had sort of all the excess panels and everything cut away. And as the name suggests, they were air portable. They were pushed out of the back of a Hercules transport aircraft, probably at times without parachutes as well, I would have thought, because the Land Rovers, and you can. When you're 6'1" and built like a grizzly bear, it's not fun. It's not fun in a Land Rover, no. I just realised how much track I've got to do. But I'm not doing all of it because, as you know, I cheat. We're only going to do the bits of track that you can see. Because we cheat. Yes. Scale model chaos. I remember someone telling me once the only tools you need for a landy was a screwdriver, a hammer and a wrench. Yep. And some gaffer tape. Don't forget the gaffer tape and WD-40. Yep. If you can't fix it with them, you can't fix anything. Just like that. Soak my nib a little bit. Peter's got a 110 Defender station wagon, ex-police. Still has a cell in the back and the light. Oh, yes. Get that. That cage in the back could be very useful at times. Especially if you've got dogs or anything like that. Very handy. If you put these pencils in the water, if you let them soak for a little bit, they become a lot softer and you can spread the pigment out a little bit more. I really wait until next week when I get it sprayed, and then I can sort of start weathering. I'm trying to resist the urge of thinking, oh, there's just an edge there. I'll just give that a highlight, yeah, but I'll leave it. Gotta leave it till we're ready to do the weathering. More talk on the Land Rovers. Oh, we used to stop at area Stafford both ways for long wheelbase landies. They're quite nice, long wheelbase landies. And the Land Rover Safari with all the windows in, long wheelbase, that was the one with all the windows, and you could sit about, oh, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, 6, yeah, you could get about 10 people in them. Cramped, especially if you had kit as well, but you could get a lot of people in your long wheelbase landy. They were good as well because the army used to turn them into all sorts of carriers to carry anything with them. They had the Wombat anti-tank guns on them. Rapier missile batteries were on the backs of them as well. keep it up with chat. You could put a bugger tea on the wheel arch when you fiddle under the bonnet. That was it. When you were fiddling under the bonnet with a Land Rover, you'd actually needed to climb into it because it was so far away from the ground, and there was so much room. You could actually probably climb into the engine bay, sit on the wheel arch, dangle your feet in the wheel bar, the engine bay. This is actually, this dark aluminium, it's actually starting to look quite good. I don't know if you can quite pick it up on the camera, but when you put it down with the contrast of the rust, and it doesn't overly overpower it, so it just looks like it's burnished. It's not shiny. But it's like a polished metal, you know, like you would get rubbing along the road. I'll try, if I can think, if I forget time, when I come back from taking the lem out, I'll try and get some pictures of this, because it'd be really nice to show you how it works, how it looks. And there's lots to do, there's lots of it. Yeah, I'm trying to catch it up with chat. Fox, yeah, that's the ones. Yeah, the air portables, just made for chucking out the backs of aircraft. Short wheelbase, everything cut away, and chuck it out the back of an aeroplane. Right, I'm needing to go and finish a little bit earlier tonight, so another 5 minutes, and unfortunately I'm going to have to call it a night because I've got a few things to do this evening before bed. I would like to spend all night chatting with you all. But life has been so hectic lately, lots of things going on, especially at work, because we're obviously, the museum is opening again very soon. We've got lots of new attractions going on. And did you see the museum on Antiques Roadshow again this weekend? The second part, they had enough footage to film 2 episodes, so the second part was on, and it looked gorgeous. The Saturday it wasn't raining at all, and it looked the place looked amazing from the footage that they filmed. If you didn't see it, go and have a look on iPlayer, Antiques Roadshow, if you want to see where I work. And sometime, probably before I go on my holidays, I hope to get some actual sort of my own footage to upload and show you where I really work. Well, the place where I go to anyway. Work, yeah, debatable. Really impressed with these pencils. Save you all that mess with going about and dry brushing things. Getting exactly the same effect. It doesn't rub off. And they're not like artist watercolour pencils because the pigment is different in them. Hercules Ted, that's modern. We transported using Argosys as our main air transport. Ah, right. I don't remember the Argosys. I don't know much about aircraft, but I know the popular, regular ones. And yeah, Hercules. They're on the way out as well, now, aren't they? Sort of. Decided that they're going to replace them with the Galaxies, and eventually they'll be filtered out and to be another aircraft that will be no doubt go into preservation somewhere. People will be wanting to save them. The whole British Army is held together with gaffer tape. Too right, everything is. Connor got the first of his jabs on Friday. I hope you're okay with that. I've had both by now, and yeah, loving it. Athol's off, immense time. Right, yeah, I'm going to be calling it a night in a very short space of time myself. Because as I said, I've got lots to do. I really would like to spend a bit more time at the bench, but I did promise Mrs. Ted that we'd get things done, and then we could be up early in the morning and head off to work. God, I've been off for 3 days. I don't know where the time's gone. So that's it. Yeah, I've got bits of track done now. For that, I've got the hull ready for decals. I'll try and get the decals on for the next time I come, and gloss coat it, clear coat it, ready for weathering of the main body, because that's a fun bit, weathering. But yes, it's 10 o'clock. Final look through chat. Michael says good night, thank you very much. Can't get pledge in France. What sort of ingredients should be looking for in an equivalent product? Just go for one of the purpose made sort of modelling varnishes. Then you want a gloss varnish for sort of laying decals down properly. People do say that you don't have to do it, but I've always had better results with it, because matte surfaces, it's a bit more under a microscope, it will really look a bit more like sandpaper. So what we try to do, we try to fill all them little surfaces in and get a nice smooth surface so our decals don't silver. Anyway, I'm going to leave it for tonight. As I say, it's a bit of a short show tonight, but we'll try and make up for it another time. Hopefully I'll be back on Sunday. We'll do some war hammering. We'll get the finishing touches done to the Hydra and have a look at that. And we'll see you all then. But in the meantime, thank you very much for coming along. Don't forget, you can support me, get me so I can save me pennies up and go buy some more modelling stuff to keep showing you online. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and I will see you next week. Same time, same place, same back channel. But until then, Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. Thanks a lot. Bye.